Hi everyone, I'm here with your 713 lesson, How Can I Find the Rate? Unit Rates. News reporters use rates to provide important information. For example, when there is a sudden heavy rain, reporting the rate at which the local river is rising gives people a sense of how quickly it might flood. Sometimes rates are reported in words such as, the pitcher struck out the batter with a ball thrown at 92 miles per hour. Other times, rates are provided in graphs or tables. For example, a graph or table may be used to report the price of food over time or how rapidly a disease is spreading. Today, your team will develop strategies to find a rate in new contexts using tables and graphs. 724 maximum miles. The table below compares how many miles are traveled to how many gallons of gas are used for two different cars. A says complete the table above, leave room to add a fourth column. So I want you to complete the table for distance for car A, distance for car B, and then we're going to end up drawing a table over here. So make sure you leave this space over here. Go ahead and do that now. Okay, if you're back with me, then you filled in the table. So going distance for car A at 0 gallons, 0 miles, 3 gallons, 90 miles, 5 gallons, 150, 6 gallons, 180, 10 gallons, 300, and 12 gallons, 360. Distance for car B, 0 gallons, 0 miles, 3 gallons, 54 miles, 5 gallons, 90 miles, 6 gallons, 108 miles, 10 gallons, 180 miles, and 12 gallons, 216 miles. So part B says, which car could travel the farthest on 5 gallons of gas? So go ahead and pause and answer that. Hopefully you said, okay, we needed to go look up here, 5 gallons of gas, car A travels 150, car B travels 90, so therefore car A travels farthest. Part C says a third car, car C, uses 6 gallons of gas to travel 120 miles. Add a fourth column to the table in part A and complete the other 5 ratios of gallons and miles in the table for car C. So we're going to come up here, add on our table. And the problem told us uses 6 gallons to travel 120 miles. So go ahead and take that information that you know and try and fill in your table. Okay, if you're back with me, then you have filled in your table. So let's check. Obviously, at 0 gallons, we've gone 0 miles. So the information that was given to us in the problem was that 6 gallons of gas to travel 120 miles. Well, 6 is not on our chart. Oh, yes, it is. I'm sorry. So 6 gallons of gas, 120 miles. So you should have filled that in. And your methods to get your other answers could have varied. One thing that you could have done is you could have seen how many miles we go per gallon of gas, per 1 gallon of gas. So to do that, you could have done 120 divided by 6. Oops, why did I do it like that? So 20 miles per every gallon of gas. So now, filling in your table, you could have done 20 times 3, which would give you 60. 20 times 5, which would give you 100. 20 times 10, which would have given you 200, and 20 times 12, which would have given you 240. Again, that's just one way to do it. You could have had a different method, but this is what your chart should be filled in as. Moving on to 725, maybe. Manufacturers often advertise the miles per gallon, or MPG, for the cars they make. This measurement is a special kind of rate called a unit rate, because it is the mileage for 1 unit, 1 gallon of gasoline. Calculate the unit rate, MPG, for each car in problem 724. List the cars in order from highest MPG to lowest. Explain how you made this calculation. So I'm going to work with you a little bit on this. So car A, car B, car C. So we're going to start with car C because we kind of already found the unit rate for car C. So over here, I told you that the car went 120 miles for every 6 gallons. But when we filled in the chart, we knew that we went 60 miles for 3 gallons. So car C, we're going to do 60 gallons for 3 miles. When we divide 60 divided by 3, that gives us 20 miles per gallon. I would like you to find the unit rate for car A and B. Go ahead and do that. Okay, if you're back with me, you found the unit rate for A and B, so let's take a look. A, you should have had 90 over 3, which would have simplified to 30 miles per gallon. And for B, you would have had 54 over 3, which simplifies to 18 miles per gallon. So it wanted you to order them from highest to lowest. So it would have been car A, car C, car B. Part B says, using the lesson 713 resource page, graph the distance in gallons of gas used for all 3 vehicles. So you're going to come to your resource page. And it's already made for you. The graph is maximum miles. You are going to graph each of the cars. So obviously, car A, 0, 0, so you have point at 0, 0. Then at 3 gallons of gas, the car went 90 miles. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Put a point there. Okay? And you will continue on. You will end up having 3 lines on this graph. So I recommend using different colors. One color for car A, one color for car B, one color for car C, so you don't get confused. But go ahead and pause the video and finish your graph. When you're done with your graph, let's take a look at part C. It says, how can the graph help us compare the unit rates, miles per gallon, of the different cars? List the cars in order from the one with the steepest line to the one with the least steep line. Which car goes farthest for each gallon of gas it uses? So, in general, the steeper the line, the more miles traveled per gallon of gas. So what that means is the car with the steepest line has the best miles per gallon. So what I want you to do now is look at your graph for cars A, B, and C, and I want you to list them on who goes the farthest for each gallon of gas it uses. So you're going to list them in order from furthest to not, and that is going to be the last thing you do. When you are done, make sure you upload a picture to your Google Classroom assignment. Make sure you also include a picture of the graph because that is part of your notes. As always, if you have any questions, please email me.